Aging is arguably one of the most familiar aspects of human physiology. Most of us have a fair amount of understanding as to what aging is. We also have some appreciation about the physical and cognitive effects of aging. We have all seen the elderly members of our families or the elders in the neighborhood and have observed the changes brought about by aging. But a layman's understanding of aging is quite superficial and deficient in one way or the other. There is more to aging than meets the eye. Old age is an important physical, social and psychological component of human life. It is a natural part of human development. Old age is accompanied by many physical changes in the body. With changing roles in family and society, old age also brings about major changes in social and family lives of people. Although different ideas related to defining old age exists, majority consider old age as a beginning from the age of 65 years and it corresponds to the generally agreed upon age of retirement and completion of professional activities in most countries. In other words, there are changes associated to the work lives of the people as well among other facets of life. Understanding aging. Definition and its meaning. According to Merriam-Webster's Learner's Dictionary, the simple definition of senescence is the state of being old or the process of becoming old. English word senescence can be traced back to the Latin word senex, meaning old. Other English words which come from the senex are senile as well as senior, both closely related to old age. Senescence aging is defined as a decline in performance and fitness with advancing age. Aging is an almost universal feature of multicellular organism and understanding why it occurs is a long-standing problem in biology. Another definition of aging as proposed by Steller in 1982 conceptualizes aging as a deleterious, progressive and intrinsic phenomenon in an organism and all individuals that do not succumb due to accidental death will be affected in species that age. Aging is usually described as a progressive, generalized impairment of function resulting in an increasing vulnerability to environmental challenges and a growing risk of disease and death. It is also usually accompanied by a decline in fertility. Old age has been divided into different groups: biological, physiological, emotional and functional. Biological aging is concerned with changes occurring in the structure and functions of the human body. Physiological changes is concerned with individuals and behavioral changes. Emotional aging describes changes in one's attitude and lifestyle dependent on one's self-perception of being old. And finally, functional aging is the comparison of individuals of the same age group in the terms of those within the group being unable to maintain their function in society. Causes of aging. Aging is an inherently complex process. Almost every facet of an individual changes as he or she ages. And this phenomenological complexity leads to the development of different ideas about specific cellular or molecular explanation to describe aging. Although recent advances in the medical field has led to the simplified understanding of the research investigating causes of aging. Nevertheless, the inherent complexity of the process itself is a challenge to understand the process. As we know that aging happens because of non-intuitive reasons and the process unfolds in intricate ways, hence theoretical explanation have a crucial role in this research. Lamarck classified the two major reasons of death in the 18th century: accidental death, predation, diseases and accidents, versus natural death, aging. He hypothesized that aging happens due to internal causes. However, a major development in the understanding of aging came about a century later when Weismann in 1891 hypothesized that normal cell activity is inherently detrimental for the organism and leads to its destruction directly or indirectly. Increased predisposition to accidental death. Weisman also suggested that the soma, the organism, is a disposable accessory for the essential germen, the gametes. Since then, multiple theories have been offered to explain this complex process of aging, but no single theory is proved to be entirely satisfactory. These theories are addressed in the next section of this module. Theories of aging. The conventional theories explaining aging held that aging is not an adaptation or genetically programmed. However, modern biological theories of aging in humans are categorized in two categories: programmed and damage or error theories. The programmed theories suggest that aging adopts a biological timetable, which can be considered as a continuation of one that regulates development and growth in childhood. This regulation would depend on changes in expression of a gene that affect the biological system that are responsible for defense, repair and maintenance responses. The damage or error theories, on the other hand, focus on the environmental factors that can have potential consequences for the living organisms, especially the ones that may be responsible for additive damage at various levels that can be considered as a cause of aging. The programmed theory. The programmed theory is classified into three subcategories: programmed longevity. According to this theory, sequential switching of particular genes result in aging, and it defines senescence as a time when deficits related to age are evidenced. Endocrine theory. This theory proposed that the rate of aging is controlled by the biological clock that are regulated by hormones, and recent studies confirm that aging is regulated through hormones and the evolutionary conserved insulin, IGF-1. Signaling pathway has an important role in the hormonal regulation of aging. Van Hemst in 2010 has discussed the potential mechanism underlying IIS and aging process. Immunological theory. This theory explains aging by the functioning of the immune system. As we know, the immune system weakens over time, and this leads to an increased susceptibility to infectious diseases, thus resulting in aging and eventually death. It is well known that the efficiency of the immune system maxes at puberty. With advance in age, it decreases gradually. For example, when an individual ages, antibodies lose their effectiveness and fewer diseases can be handled effectively by the body, hence causing cellular stress and eventual death. Deregulated immune response has been related to inflammation, cardiovascular disease, cancer and Alzheimer's disease. Although direct causal relationships have not been established for all these detrimental outcomes, the immune system has been at least indirectly implicated. The damage or error theory. The damage or error theory includes 1. Wear and tear theory. This theory proposes that cells and tissues in body have vital parts that wear out, and it results in aging. Parts of the body eventually wear out from repeated use, killing them and then the body. Although the wear and tear theory of aging was first introduced by August Weismann, a German biologist, in 1882. It sounds perfectly reasonable to many people even today. This theory is commonly accepted by people even today because this is what happens to most familiar things around them. Rate of living theory. According to this theory, the greater an organism's rate of oxygen basal metabolism, the shorter its lifespan. The rate of living theory of aging, while helpful, is not completely adequate in explaining the maximum lifespan. Cross-linking theory. According to this theory, an accumulation of cross-linked protein damages cells and tissues and hence slows down bodily processes, which results in aging. Recent studies show that cross-linking reactions are involved in the age-related changes in the studied proteins. Free radical theory. This theory proposes that superoxide and other free radicals cause damage to the macromolecular components of the cell, giving rise to the accumulated damage causing cells and eventually organs to stop functioning. The experiments done with rodents have supported this theory in those experiments. The rodents who were fed antioxidants had greater mean longevity. Currently, however, some experimental findings do not support this early proposal of aging. Somatic DNA damage theory. This theory proposes that DNA damages occur continuously in cells of living organisms. Most of these DNA damages are repaired, but some accumulate. Particularly, the research findings suggest that the DNA damage accumulation happens in non-dividing cells of mammals. Genetic mutations occur and accumulate with increasing age, causing cells to deteriorate and malfunction. In particular, damage to mitochondrial DNA might lead to mitochondrial dysfunction. Therefore, aging results from damage to the genetic integrity of the body's cell. Since the 1930s, it has been found that restricting calories can extend lifespan in laboratory animals by McKay in 1935. Many studies were performed to try to elucidate the underlying mechanisms. However, our knowledge remained limited at the genetic and molecular levels until 1990. In the early 2000s, a group of researchers has provided evidence that this effect is due to increased formation of free radicals within the mitochondria of various cells, causing a secondary induction of increased antioxidant defense capacity. Some neurological diseases are considered to be at high risk with increasing age. For example, Alzheimer's disease, which is diagnosed in people over 65 years of age. Discovery of molecular bases of the processes involved in their pathology or creating and studying aging model systems may help improve our understanding of the aging process. The recent findings exploring the Alzheimer's disease indicate the link among brain aging, neural stem cells and neurological diseases. Dr. Taupin discusses the association of aging with neurogenesis by emphasizing the role of adult neurogenesis in the pathogenesis of neurological diseases by Taupin in 2010, which has provided a better understanding of aging. Overall, while multiple theories of aging have been proposed, currently there is no consensus on this issue. Many of the proposed theories interact with each other in a complex way. These theories, however, have served the purpose of guiding the path towards successful aging. There is no doubt that by understanding and testing the existing and new aging theories, it may be possible to promote successful aging as well as to enhance the lifespan of mankind. Changes due to aging. There are many physical and psychological changes in the process of aging or growing old. These changes are not harmful, but bodily function is gradually declined, and hence old age also encompasses some social changes. Physical changes. The most noticeable manifestations of aging are changes in physical appearance, such as graying of hair, wrinkles appearing on the face, slowing down of reactions, that is higher reaction time, followed by restriction of movement and sense organs, and susceptibility to chronic illness. Older adults do experience normal age-related changes that may affect their lifestyle and bring about major changes in whole bodily system. Hearing and vision problem in old age makes communication difficult. Similarly, changes in taste and smell, changes in bones and muscles also take place. Bone loss, fracture and muscle pain increase in old age. There are many changes in the digestive system as well. The older people have a high chance of losing teeth, upset stomach and less bowel movement. Constipation is the most common problem. They also have changes in the circulation. For instance, heart becomes slow to pump the blood. Because of this reason, they have a high chance of stroke. Menopause is one of the major changes that occur in old age women, and it varies among different individuals, by Smith and Gove in 2006. Some of the major changes related to age happens in the following physical dimensions. 1. Brain and nervous system, especially related to memory and or Alzheimer's disease. Aging is usually accompanied with the fear of becoming forgetful for adults, and forgetfulness is considered the first sign of Alzheimer's disease. Earlier, memory loss and confusion were accepted as a part of growing old, but now scientists know that people can remain both alert and able as they age, although it may take them longer to remember things. 2. Bones and joints. The bones and joints of older individuals take much wear and tear as the body ages. The most common age-related conditions are osteoporosis and arthritis. Osteoporosis is a disease that weakens bones, most often bones in the hip, backbone and wrist, and it happens most often in women. Arthritis is one of the different kinds, and each kind has different symptoms and treatment, and it can possibly attack any part of the body. 3. Eyes and ears. During the middle adulthood, eyesight begins to weaken and hearing also declines within age. The major problems for the elderly related to eyesight are presbyopia, cataracts, glaucoma, and retinal disorders. The major problem related to hearing are presbycusis, age-related hearing loss, and tinnitus. 4. Digestive and metabolic changes. The prevalence of gastrointestinal problems increases as one ages. One of the most common problems is gastroesophageal reflux disease or GERD, which occurs when the lower esophageal sphincter does not close properly and stomach contents leak back or reflux into esophagus. 5th, urogenital. Most often encountered problem in this dimension with increasing age is incontinence, which is loss of bladder control. Other problems are benign prostatic hypertrophy, BPH, and prostate cancer. 6. Dental. The most common problems are loss of teeth, tooth decay, and gum diseases. 7. Skin. As discussed earlier, the common signs of aging are wrinkles, dryness, and age spots. Another common type of skin problem is skin cancer. 8. Functional abilities. Aging severely affects the functional abilities, and falling becomes an increasingly common reason for injuries during old age. Psychological changes. Psychological well-being is considered as a core of successful aging. The ability to be self-determined and to exercise control over one's life with increasing age is critical to both psychological and physical well-being and health. In old age, there are many changes in the human brain, resulting in changes in behavior too. Different diseases or mental conditions like depression, memory loss, mood changes, and dementia occur as the age advances. Old people may have fear of many things related with their health condition, injuries, as well as about family and friends. So they frequently feel depressed and lonely. By American Psychological Association, 2006. Due to different physical and psychological changes in elderly, there is also a great chance of suicidal tendencies. They can attempt suicide because of depression and loneliness also. Problem with memory makes it difficult for them to remember even simple things which happened just earlier. For instance, the day's new events, what was eaten for breakfast, dates, etc. Memory generally declines with age. Lots of things go up and down during this stage of life. By Trafkin and John in 2004. However, poor cognitive ability can be improved by using different methods or extra activities. Involving in different games like chess, crossword puzzles, or playing simple mental games is necessary. Exercises like swimming, walking, yoga, etc. also help to maintain the cognitive function. Also, the social involvements in an important factor to maintain it. Elderly can be more active and have the healthy brain. Those who have been involved in physical as well as social activities have less chance of depression and greater chances of maintaining healthy cognitive skills. By Ganser, Christine Zorder and Cheryl in 2011. Social changes. As we know, the role that an individual plays in the society can identify and define the person and validate their existence in groups like families, workplace, and communities. The social roles keep evolving throughout our lives. The different roles remain in place, but the participation in that role generally depends on the financial resources, health status, and mobility in the community. However, older adults continued to participate in a variety of these social roles even though they faced with diminished capacities. Retirement is one of the major social changes. It is difficult for older adults to leave the position where they get respect, regular income, and social network of friends, colleagues, and acquaintances. Similarly, it causes transition from the daily recognition to one with limited recognition and possible isolation. It may affect elderly financially as well as psychologically. Numerous studies have shown that socialization is an important part for physical and psychological well-being. But social relationships get affected with old age. Personal health declines and the ability to socialize gets reduced. So only few relationships are maintained. Such relationships are social circle of family members and close friends. Older adults have strong desire to be independent and don't usually accept help from others. Due to decline in the health status, they sometimes reach a point in life where they need to accept support and help from others. Family members, especially children, give assistance to them on regular basis. Summary: overall, aging has been understood as an inherently complex process. Old age has been divided into different groups: biological, physiological, emotional, and functional. Multiple theories have been proposed to explain the causes of aging, but no consensus has been reached yet among the scientific community. The programmed theories suggest that aging adopts a biological timetable, which can be considered a continuation of the one that regulates development and growth in childhood. The damage or error theories, on the other hand, focus on the environmental factors that can have potential consequences for the living organisms, especially the ones that may be responsible for additive damage at various levels that can be considered as a cause of aging. As with any other process related to humans, aging also produces changes in the individual, which are considered along the physical, psychological, and social dimensions.